Dum dum, dum dum. Hey, AI in action. Let's go. AI in action. Woo, let's go. AI in action.
All right, everybody, you're back to AI in action. AI in action. Don't you love that theme song? I love that theme song. Okay, today is not about setup videos. I'm going to walk you through this theory first. Remember last week, we took your personality, who you are, who your target market is, there's all the different things that we did on last week, right? Do y'all remember the PIB? The personal intelligence blueprint? Okay, so this week is about putting PIB into action. Okay, so that we're not gonna. This video is all theory. I'm gonna tell you the what, the when, the why. Okay, in the following three short videos, I'm gonna give you certain things. Okay, and you're gonna work through each one of them. Okay, so today is theory. And yes, theory matters, because if you understand why you're doing something, the how becomes easier. Right? So today we're talking about how to plug your brain into AI, not just prompts, your brain. Okay? You might say, well, Ms. B, we already did that. We put it in the settings. That was global. We call that the global brain, okay? The overall brain, okay? But there's a next level to it, which is project-based brains, okay? So we did the global brain. Yes, we did everything in settings, correct. And in the next video, I'm going to actually walk you through how to do it for Claude, because I forgot to give that to you as well, okay? So let's get started. All right, let's get started. Now, hear me carefully. Your PIB, your personal intelligent blueprint, is already real. You've already done it. You already have a voice, a thinking style, a way you solve problems, a way you teach, a way you create. The problem is most people leave it sitting in a Google Doc. And if it stays in a document, it's not going to help. Let me emphasize this with everything in my body. A PIB sitting in a doc helps nobody. A PIB plugged in changes everything. Now, we're building this in 3 levels, okay? And I need y'all to stop trying to jump to black belt immediately. Right? Everybody wants the automation before the clarity. We got to start at the bottom. White belt, yellow belt. Okay? This is the beginning level. You plug your brain into AI. Simple. This is where we did the settings. White belt, yellow belt is the settings. Okay? Then we got green belt, green and blue belt. This is the project level, okay? Now your projects have their own brains. Hello? See how we elevating as we go? Yes. These are the workspaces that have your brain, okay? Then there's black belt. This is what we call the system level. You build an AI operating system, okay? Now let's talk about why AI sounds generic sometimes, even after you plug in your stuff. Hello. Every new chat is a blank slate, literally. It's like it's okay. Some of us have babies. Some of us have children. My child is grown now. She's in her 30s. But imagine me taking my child, dropping her off at school, Without her book bag, without her paper, without her pencils, ooh, without her lunch, without her name tag. Remember when we used to put the name tags on everything? Yes. Okay. Imagine me just dropping her off and sending her off to school. How do you think she's going to do that day? First of all, she got to borrow paper. She got to borrow a pencil. Then she got to ask somebody to share their lunch with them. Every new chat is like that. It's a blank slate. It's like showing up without your book bag. It's like going to school every day without your book bag, without your lunch, and without your name. Okay, nobody wants, So AI doesn't know your identity, your audience, your communication style, your thinking process automatically. Okay, yes, we did the global brain, which is for everything inside that AI. Okay, but I'm going to tell you how to take it to the next level. Okay, this is where most people get stuck right here. This is where in the white belt, they've like, well, I did this, so I'm done. I put my stuff in settings. This level is simple. You didn't even have to create a PIB. You just simply went to your settings and you put in all the different things that we put in. I'm not going to go back and review that. If you want to know how we set up the global settings, you got to go back to the first lesson in this section. You go back to lesson 0, and I believe it's like the first and second lesson. Okay, you got to go back to that if you want to know how to set up that global setting. Okay, so white belt, yellow belt is where we set up the global. We took our time and we plugged in who we were, what we want our names to be. We told AI, hey, I'm candid, I'm all of this stuff. Okay, we did that. That was global. That was what we call the global setup. Okay, so now the difference is we wanted to take what we were doing from being very vague to being very specific. And so that's what the difference was. Okay, this was not automation. This was just an identity alignment. Okay, we are teaching AI who we are, how we sound, who we serve, how we think. Now, this is where most people mess up. Okay, they stay at the surface. So white belt is at the surface. It's really surface. And then we get into making prompts and putting things in. They say, oh, I'm a teacher. That's vague. Remember, we talked about that already. All right. That tells AI absolutely nothing. Even when we got specific, we said, I'm a specific business and tech educator. Okay. When we put it in settings, we're still giving it a surface level. Okay. This helped AI to program who we were. It defined exactly who we were, what our expertise were, what our specific lens was, and how AI was to view our work. It was, what did I say? It was at the base level, white belt level. But now, this is what I've been waiting for. Green and blue belt level. Yes. This is where we take the global settings and we start opening them up to what we call projects. And yes, I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. Remember, this video is just a theory. I just want you to understand why we're doing it before I show you how to do it. Okay? Now, once your brain is plugged in, and we did the global plug-in, now we're going to build the projects. This is where things start to get powerful. Okay? So right now, AI knows you at this level, at the white belt level, global identity across all of your chats inside whatever AI you used. Hello, whether it was ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, it doesn't matter what the AI tool was. Right now, because of the other video that we did, we've already set up our global identity. Now, we want AI to know what we're working on. So look at this next step as, each task I do, each project I do. So what we're building is what we call project based. Okay, so it's going to be, hey, this is my project, and this is what I want inside my project. Okay, so inside the project, this is where you can literally override. Hold on. Think about it like this. You may have one project for content, one for a lesson plan, one for ministry, one for branding. And each project has a focus, a purpose, and a workflow. Okay? The big idea is your global brain knows you, but the project brain knows the job. Did you catch that? The project brain knows the job. So like in ChatGPT, the project instructions override the global custom instructions inside just that project. Okay? So yes, we gave it a global brain. This is how I want you to think. This is who I am. It's going to go everywhere. But inside the project, we get to override it and direct it to where we want it to be. Okay? In Claude, the project instructions stack on top of the global. Okay? That's the cool thing about Claude. The Claude includes your global and includes your project instructions. Okay? So remember that ChatGPT overrides the global. It doesn't really include it inside your project. You giving your project its own brain. Okay? And you might say, oh, Miss B, that's starting over. No, because we're going to put it in one space, one spot. And every chat in there is going to be dealing with just that. You never have to copy paste the whole thing over again. Once we put it in that one spot, it's gonna literally think like that every single time. Okay? But notice in Claude, it stacks it, which I love better. That's why I know a lot of people are leaning more toward Claude. And they're like, oh, stay away from ChatGPT. No, they're both very effective tools. And you use one over the other based on the job. Got it? Okay, so let's hit the next screen. Okay. So the biggest difference is, like I said, the ChatGPT override, the Claude stacks. Okay, that's the biggest thing you need to know. Now, please hear me here. Do not cram 6 jobs into one project. Don't do it. That will only create chaos, and it's like telling one person in your business, I need you to do the marketing, and I need you to do the accounting. I need you to do check the emails. That one person is going to feel so overwhelmed. They might come and say, you know what? I'll give you my 2-week notice. Yeah. It's the same thing with AI. We don't want to cram it with all that stuff. Nope. Instead, think of it like this. It's one project, one purpose, one workflow. Okay? That's how you want to do. Chaos in, chaos out. If you put too many jobs in that project, you want that project to do one thing only. I cannot emphasize that enough. You want that project to do one thing only. Okay? Now, black belt, black belt. Yes, black belt. Now the black belt level. This is a system. This is where we build the system. This is where your projects start connecting together into an AI ecosystem. Okay? You're not just using AI anymore. You see how you're building? You're building workflows, you're building systems, you're building automations, you're building operating structures. You got it? Okay? So now you design your system. What are your top 5 workspaces? Okay? It could be marketing. It could be email. Remember, inside the project, it's only doing one job. Okay? Think of it as one person doing one thing, and that's all they do in that area. I got my marketing team. That's all they do is marketing. They're not in it. They're not in the accounting. I got my accountant to do all the accounting, right? They're doing all the finances. Okay, I'm not mixing the two together. Not one workspace, one job. And then you choose whether you want it to do it in in ChatGPT or in Claude, okay? So, you design your system. Ask yourself, what are your top 5 workspaces? What jobs do they perform? What belongs where? And do this on paper first. I'm just saying, do it on paper first. Just list out 5 things that you want to work on. So I'll give you myself as an example. I'm writing children's books. I'm writing a children's series, actually. Okay? So one of my spaces is going to be where I write. It's going to be my ghostwriter. So that's my number 1, ghostwriter. My second workspace is going to be where, I need help editing. So it's going to be my copy editor. My third workspace is going to be where it checks what I've done, what I've edited, and make sure it is creditable to be able to be placed in the library or in places where children read books. Okay. And that could be a mix of, the only job is to check the completed thing after it's been edited to make sure it's ready for the market. I'm not sure what I would label that one. Okay. My fourth one would be, no, excuse me. What I just said would be my fourth one. Nope. No, it wouldn't. My fourth one would be design. So now that I've got the words correctly, this workspace is going to be all about the design, how it looks, how it appears on each page. Do I have a picture on each page, or do I have words on each page? So it's going to focus in on the design of it, right? My fifth and final workspace is going to be marketing. Everything in that workspace is going to be, it's going to, be dealing with how I present this book to the world through my YouTube, through my social media, through everything. Basically, it's my marketing. 5 is marketing, right? And whatever tool I use, whether it's GPT or whether it's Claude, I've got to determine. You see how quickly I determined what my 5 workspaces were concerning, and really that's just one project. That's one project overall, but it's got 5 different lanes. So each of my projects will have its own folder where all I do is write, and my ghostwriter is helping me write. The second one, all I do in there is edit. The third one is checking to make sure that the language and the, what do you call those things? The different levels that it has to be on, so that if the kids want to take a test with my book, it's got to have certain, what do you call it? Dibbles. That the dibble levels are correct. So it's correcting, making sure that's all it's checking. My fourth thing is design. How does it look? Is it appealing? Will kids gravitate toward this? Okay. And the fifth thing is, how do I get this out there so every librarian, every school, every what do you call it? Every mom and pop, grandmama, aunts and uncles can say, "Oh, I want my child. Oh, I need this book right here because it deals with things that I can open up and have a discussion with my child with while we're reading this book." And that's the whole purpose of the series is so, hey, we can have a talk. We can discuss things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not leaving it to social media to teach my child about online. Hello. Okay. So that's just an example of how I would use it. But I need you to pause the video, and go sit down. Think of one thing that you want to do, and then break it off into 5 different things. So my example was writing children series, book series. Okay. And then I had broke it down into 5 things that I need in order to accomplish that. I need a ghostwriter. I need an editor. I need somebody to check the language to make sure it fits the age group. I need somebody to help me to design the pictures and design how the book is going to flow. And then I need somebody to help me market my flow, help me market the books. Okay. But my initial task was create a book for children. And then I gave myself 5 jobs I need to do in order to get that done. Okay. So your task or that one job could be whatever you want it to be. But you're going to break that one job down into 5 different tasks. And guess what? Each one of those tasks, each one of those things are going to be its own workspace. So you can go back and forth and have a conversation with AI. You got it? Okay, let's move on. Because we almost done now. Okay, so now people will always ask, which one is better? And that's the reason why I said ChatGPT or Claude. I'm going to just be honest. Whichever one is better for the task that you're trying to accomplish. Okay, Claude is usually deeper. Okay, let's look at it like this. ChatGPT is usually faster and broader. Okay, think about generalization. That's what ChatGPT is. It's general, right? Claude is usually deeper and more structure. You can pause the video and look a little closer at each one of these things that I've placed up here. And I give you what is best for the voice and tone, the custom instruction, the projects. On the free version, let me emphasize this real quick. ChatGPT is free. You can make as many projects as you want to. And when I demonstrate this in the next videos, you will see, oh wow, I can have many projects as I want in chat. I don't have to pay for nothing. Right. But the free version of Claude, you are limited to 5 projects only. Okay? You're limited to 5. That's it. Okay? And when it comes to images, I'm gonna let you know straight up. If you had to choose between ChatGPT and Claude, I would choose ChatGPT because ChatGPT right now, they are the biggest image generators. That's it. They are, boom. They lighten it up. It's like the 4th of July over there with ChatGPT. Okay, so Claude hasn't got there yet. And then there's always the other AIs. But remember, with the other AIs, you got to either pay the tokens or the coins. And once you run out of those, you got to pay and buy more. Okay? ChatGPT, it is free. Okay? Now, images, I'm not sure how many images they will allow you to have in the free version. I'm not sure about that. Okay? But as far as images, ChatGPT is it. Okay? Long document handling, Chat is okay with that. Claude is the bomb. I created this thing the other day. I was like, oh my goodness. I wish I had this when I was actually in the class and teaching. Because now that I'm teaching virtual, I don't need all that as much. But oh my goodness. Claude is the bomb when it comes to long document handling. Let me just tell you. Now, if you want it fast and quick, ChatGPT. If you want it slow and deep, Claude. I'm just telling you now. So, as we draw to a conclusion, remember this, okay? Don't marry your tools. Learn systems. Because I don't want you to get stuck in one tool. I really don't want you to get stuck. Each tool has its advantage, and it depends on what you need it for. Jump over there and say, hey, I'm over here in Claude. Hey, research, I'm over here in Perplexity. Hey, I need it to come together in a certain way. I'm over here in Notebook LM. You feel me? So don't marry your tools. Be be open. Okay? So let's talk about the beginning rule of thumb. So before you build anything, audit yourself. Does this sound like me? Am I clear? Is this organized? What's missing from my brain? Okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that in the next couple of videos. We're going to break it down so everything fits. Okay? And finally, you have walked into this lesson using AI. But you're walking out building an AI ecosystem. This is not about copywriting prompt. This is not about copying prompts at all. This is about building systems that reflect your voice, your thinking, your purpose. You're not just using AI anymore. You're training it to think with you. Hello. Let me emphasize that again. You're training it to think with you, not for you. I cannot emphasize that enough. You're not training it to think for you. You're training it to think with you. You are the boss. Okay? All right, now look out for the next videos where I will demonstrate exactly how to do this. Okay? I had to give you the theory first because I don't want you to just be doing things just to be doing it. I need you to understand why you're doing it. Okay? I'll see you next time. Holla! AI in action.
AI in action. AI in action. Work smart, not hard. You ask, it answers. Then what? I make it better.